All right, well, welcome to Shop Task in Calgary. Displayed here, we have the FR lineup, SEBA Freeride Skate, FR1, FR2, and FRX. And there's some very subtle differences, so we're going to look at each one individually so we can kind of break it down and actually see what the differences are. Now, when we're looking at them in a more general sense, you'll notice that we've got a plastic shell with a liner that slips inside. We have the same plastic shell in all these FR models, but when we look a little bit more closely now, we start to see the differences. Looking at the FR1, we've got, of course, the aluminum buckle, the 4-position cuff, the SEBA double strap that ratchets and backs off one click at a time, and then the key to the FR1, when we look at the bottom, this metal plate that's built right into it. So there's 7 different positions, so lots of room for different frames and things like this, but really what makes it special is it's going to really attach this frame to the boot. It's going to get no give in there, so super solid connection. Less energy lost into the flex of the parts, makes it a more fast, efficient skate. Lots of fun. FR2, again, same boot almost as we got here, minus those metal plates in the bottom. This does have a nut that's built in, so it's still a secure system, but just not quite to the same extent as that FR1. Hopefully you can see what I'm looking at there. Cool. So you can see it's built in, just not quite to the same extent there, but lots of the same features. Buckles, closure, all the same. FRX, very nice skate as well. Same plastic shell, but now not quite the same high-end parts that we have here. We've got, of course, a plastic buckle that locks into place. Cool. Velcro strap. Velcro has its benefits too. Less likely to break that Velcro strap, but you're not going to get that same super tight closure you would with that ratchet. You don't have the mechanical advantage of that ratchet when you're closing this around your foot. But still does the job. Still a really solid, super great skate. And then when we look at the bottom, we see the same as we had on that FR2. Awesome. Okay, those are the boots. Subtle differences. Once you have your feet inside, not much to say, They'll be very similar. Very similar experience. Frames, FR1, FR2. We have this SEBA classic R1 frame, so a one-piece machined aluminum frame. Bridging through the middle, keeps it nice and stiff and solid. Axles, one-piece axle, threads directly into the frame. Easy to work on, lasts a very long time. Excellent setup. FRX, amazing. Another one-piece machined aluminum frame, similar type of bridging, but now we have a 2-piece axle. So instead of that one-piece race axle that threads into the frame, now we have a 2-piece axle. So a little bit more work when you're working on them. You have to be maybe a little bit more careful that you're not stripping bolts out, that kind of thing. It's not really a big problem, but you can really see the upgrade there. Very nice. Awesome. Cool. Now, one other small detail. We didn't really talk about the wheels, but if you're looking at the wheels lined up here, you see we got the Street Invader, SEBA Street Invader wheel, 80 millimeter on all these models. Could be an 84. Really have lots of options, but standard is that SEBA Street Invader wheel. FR1s come with a titanium freeride bearing. FR2, an ILQ7. These are all twin cam bearings, and then an ILQ5. So as we move up from FRX to FR1, we see an increase in the precision of the manufacturing of the parts. We see an upgrade in the bearings. We see an upgrade on the closure systems, and then the really important feature, that FR1 having that metal plate. Cool. Now, that being said, let's talk about some more fun stuff. Ooh. The Intuition liner. So this liner was specifically designed for this FR shell. Could go in any one of these skates here. Totally makes it a new skate. The liner that comes standard in here is a super comfortable, well-tested, good, long-lasting liner, but when I pull this out, just give me a second. There we go. Cool. So now when we pull this apart, when we kind of look down on the liner here, you can see how much extra foam and stuff is built into this liner. So that makes it comfortable, shock absorbing, works really good. But the Intuition liner has the same shock absorbing, same comfort, but a much thinner padding. So what we get is a nice wrap around our foot. The foam is totally consistent. You know, here it's a bit thicker, a bit thinner here, so you get kind of a different feel around your foot, whereas this fits over your foot, wraps your foot nicely in that same consistent foam. There's a little thinner foam in the toe, just to account for the toe box, because generally when you switch to this Intuition liner, now we're fitting into a smaller size, and we have a little bit extra padding in the tongue to avoid that lace bite when you're lacing them up really tight. So this would slide right inside here, replacing the other liner, and now you've got, yeah, look at that beauty. Now you've got a really, really nice structured liner, fits perfectly inside that boot, super comfortable, makes it a totally new skate. Very sweet setup. And of course, with all the Sebas, we have lots of options. So this here is personally my favorite setup, especially when it comes to the FRs. We get that FR1 boot, metal plates, bolt that thing solid onto this 100mm frame, and then that Intuition liner completing the setup. How are you, my friend? Oh, excellent. We're just talking about skates. What I was trying to get at was that the FR skate is a great skate for almost anyone that's getting into it. Starting out with the FRX, you get a good, solid, supportive skate that's going to allow you to learn the basics and progress to quite a high level. The FR2, you get some of those really nice features. Now you've got a skate that's going to last you for years and years and years. It's easy to work on. It's a great experience. The FR1, now you've got yourself a truly high-end skate that is going to perform well no matter what you're doing. Slalom skating, so that's super maneuverable, responsive style of skating. You can set it up with big wheels, which I really love to do, skating something like a 100mm wheel. Or one thing I did really cool, I swapped out the 100mm wheels for a 90mm wheel, but kept it in that same 305mm frame, so a really long frame that's close to the ground, and you're bombing through the city. You have really cool control and connection. Like, you can do so much with these skates, and really a classic plastic shell like this FR, when done right, is almost the most classic rollerblade available, inline skate available. Like, I don't think inline skating never would have gotten to the point where it's at now without plastic boots. And that's all there is to it. Like, you know, if we didn't invent plastic, we wouldn't have these skates. It's a great mixture of shock absorption as well as support, responsiveness. The plastic does a really good job of kind of balancing all those things. It's comfortable, absorbs the shock, like I said, transfers the energy. Awesome, awesome, awesome. FRs, man, you can't go wrong with these. So come on into Shoptask and give them a try. We actually have FRXs that you can rent. So if it's something that caught your eye a little bit, come on in. We'll fit you up in a pair of rentals. You can go for a rip. We'll give you a free lesson, and you'll be able to see what we're talking about. Peace! FR1s. Oh.